India versus Sri Lanka, the World T20 final, a World Cup title at stake. Who will come out on top? Will it be the side song men, Sangha and Mahela? Or will it be the side of the captain with the Midas touch? It's Battle Royale on Battleground T20. I'm Shivani Gupta and you're watching our mega preview before the finale. Joining us live from Dhaka, former India captain Saurav Ganguly. He'll give us his insights into just what you can expect from this match. Joining me in the studio is Nikhil Chopra, and joining us from Kolkata, our consulting editor Boria Majumdar. Before we get to our guests, let's set this final up for our viewers. India have set themselves up for the ICC treble of the World Cup, the Champions Trophy and the World 2020. For the second time in the history of this competition, India are in the final, and standing in the way are familiar foes, Sri Lanka, who have been quite incredible in this tournament themselves.
Certainly has been pretty strong in this tournament. There's not much due on this ground now. They have some really quality spinners, so it's going to be a challenge for us.
But in recent finals, India have enjoyed the upper hand. In all T20 matches, India have won 3, with Sri Lanka winning just 2.
But Sri Lanka also has made it into 3 ICC championships final, but have never won it. And the way Indians are playing, it seems Sri Lanka will again have to settle for the runner-up slot. On Sunday, the confident Indian team, Dhoni and his boys, seem certain to create history. With camera person Himanshu Sharma, this is Sameep Rajguru from Dhaka for Headlines Today.
All our experts say India has a massive advantage in this finale today. They've been unbeaten in this tournament, better than Sri Lanka. But yes, you cannot discount the fact that Sri Lanka will be the toughest opponent in these circumstances and conditions that India will face yet in this tournament. Saurav Ganguly joins us from Dhaka, Nikhil with me in Delhi, and Boria Majumdar joining us from Kolkata. We're also joined by our correspondents Shimon Ray and Pratibha Raman, who will be giving us an update of what the fans are thinking in Delhi and in Bangalore. But first up, let's go across to Dada. Dada, as we were talking, India have an edge over Sri Lanka. They've had an edge in recent times as well. They've beaten them in recent finals. How much of a psychological advantage do you think it will be before this finale?
A huge advantage, and India has got the biggest confidence of winning big finals, and I'm sure that's going to stand good for Mahendra Singh Dhoni and his boys today, because what you've done in the past gives a lot of confidence to the present, and hopefully they'll take a lot of faith and belief out of those wins in the past.
Yes, and Dada, the 3 most dangerous players in the Sri Lankan lineup, according to you, that India will have to be wary of?
There are quite a few actually. Like the Indian team, there are quite a few in the Sri Lankan team. I'm sure Mahela and Sangha will be trying to do well in the last big World T20 in their career. It's a big opportunity for them. Like Tendulkar had the opportunity in 2011 to finish off with a win, and I'm sure Mahela and Sangha will try and do that. I think Kushal Perera is a good player. Tilakratne Dilshan has hit a bit of form. Angelo Matthews has been in superb form. So they have quite a bit of players who can bat and score runs in these conditions. So we'll have to wait and see how players from each side handle the pressure and move on in this big final.
Yes, and Nikhil, do you feel it's the Sri Lankans that will have more pressure? You know, India have the experience of winning these big titles. Sri Lanka have made it to the finals, but actually haven't gone past that.
Yeah, and they've been quite consistent at that, getting to the final of most of the ICC tournaments in the recent past. But you're absolutely right. It's just that the final hurdle, somehow Sri Lanka, when it comes to the final, they have not been able to cross it. But on the other side, like you just said, Mahendra Singh Dhoni and the rest of the guys, they've been there, they've done that. They understand what pressure is and how to deal with it. And with the kind of form with some of our batsmen, I don't see it as a problem that these guys, would be bogged down with the enormous amount of pressure playing the final.
Let's also listen into Indian skipper MS Dhoni. He feels the men in blue will be the favourites to lift the trophy if they replicate their performance in the tournament in the final as well.
I don't think psychological advantage really matters, because the difference between the good sides, it's very narrow. The reason being it's such a short format. So I feel it all boils down to how well you have played on that particular day, and how the individuals they respond to a particular situation. So it will be how we turn up on the field, and if we can replicate what we have done so far in the tournament, then we have got a very good chance.
India certainly have a very good chance. Let's go across to Saurav before we get an update from Dhaka. And it is not very good news. Saurav, what do you think has been Dhoni's secret to the success that he's had in this tournament?
It's very hard to say what's the secret because, you know, in the last 6 months, 4 or 5 months, India just didn't win anything and they look a completely different side in the tournament. I think he's been very proactive. I think the teams got themselves going in big matches, in the big situation, and somehow they find themselves to get going in big tournaments, which is a good thing. He's won the T20 World Cup before, he's won the 50-over World Cup before, and it's a massive, massive opportunity to repeat it once again.
Absolutely. Nikhil, Dhoni, I mean, he's going to win his fourth ICC title. And if we talk about World Cups, this could be his third World Cup title after 2007 and 2011. One more than Clive Lloyd and Ricky Ponting themselves. So, you know, he's going to break all barriers and cross all marks that have been set.
Well, enormous. And I hope that he's been able to go out there and achieve that, because we all know he's a fantastic captain. No matter how tough the situation gets, what the pressure does to most captains around the world, Mahendra Singh Dhoni still stays very, very calm, and that's why he's been able to take the decisions that has, you know, worked for him. The important thing is to, you know, stay calm under pressure and go out there and take those sort of decisions. And at the end of the day, you know, he's borne fruits for that. And I just hope that he can complete that fourth cup as well, Shivani. It'd be the icing on the cake, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Saurav Ganguly had earlier, obviously, on our show said that nobody's ever going to be able to match Mahendra Singh Dhoni as far as titles won are concerned. India's had quite a beautiful run under his captaincy, some lows as well, but ICC titles, there's no matching Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We're talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, so let's go across to Chennai, where he has a huge following, of course, as the captain of the Chennai Super Kings. Shrisha Reddy, my colleague, joins us from Chennai. Shrisha, what are the fans in Chennai saying?
We're really waiting for the crucial match this time, because if India wins, it will be the third world title that India will be getting at the time. And as far as Chennai and Tamil Nadu is concerned, of course, they are looking for Ashwin's performance, because he has been doing stunningly well as far as this series is concerned, and he's going to put a tough fight. In fact, let's just ask fans, what are you looking at in this match? Is it going to be a very tough match?
It is going to be a tough match, because we have Ashwin, Kohli, Dhoni, Yuvraj and other key players who can change the game at any point of time, as well as even if Malinga, who's the only bowler who's going to be strong for a team India, even then we have so many key factors we can change the match.
And there's been a lot of controversy as far as IPL is concerned, and now Dhoni's name has been dragged into all this controversy. So how do you see this, and do you think this will actually add so much of pressure on the Indian team?
No, I don't think so actually, because our captain Dhoni is he is known for handling all the pressure and very comfortably, coolly. So I don't think so. I mean, it will not affect that much. And their performance is really nice, so it's not going to affect, I believe.
Right. What is your word? You know, Ashwin has been doing tremendously well.
Ashwin will definitely do tremendously well even in this match. He is an outstanding performance when it comes to Chennai as a local player of the Chennai. And we have a high expectation, and he'll definitely do it.
Of course, very confident as far as this match is concerned. This is the cheering in Chennai.
Thanks a lot, Shrisha, for bringing us the cheering from Chennai. Of course, we'll go across to Bangalore and Delhi as well, where fans are waiting to talk to our reporters there. In fact, let me go across to Bangalore. Pratibha, what's the mood like in Bangalore? An Indian victory and celebrations in store for fans? Pratibha, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore,
Pratibha, what are the fans in Bangalore saying?
Well, Shivani, I'm in Hyderabad and the mood is really exuberant. All of them really very confident, resting their confidence on Virat Kohli and such players, and all of them here. We are at the ground and you can see the kind of cheer that they are spreading. Let me actually go across to one such fan. What makes you think? Do you think that India is going to win today?
Definitely India will win today, and the consistent performing if you are seeing in Virat Kohli consistent performance, definitely India will win. India will win definitely today.
Them seem to be of Virat Kohli, and let me go across to another person here. And do you think you're a big fan of Virat Kohli, wouldn't you say?
Definitely India win. Today is the win. India is the win. And Virat Kohli and Yuvraj Singh is definitely winner of the player.
So all of them pinning their hopes on players like Yuvraj Singh as well as Virat Kohli, waiting to see India bag that cup today.
All right, thanks a lot, Pratibha, for getting us voices from Hyderabad. Let's go across to Shimon Ray in Delhi now. Virat Kohli, Shimon, is a Delhi lad and he's really the backbone of this Indian team and everybody's banking on him.
Absolutely, he's not only the backbone but also definitely a match winner. All the fans over here in Delhi, they believe that it's going to be Virat show, and along with Virat show, it will be Yuvraj Singh and Dhoni, of course. They all believe that. Let's talk to some of the fans. What do you think? Who is going to win the match for India?
Surely India.
Right, Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli for sure.
Suresh Raina.
So Virat Kohli, if you say Virat Kohli, why? Because he's played very well, and you think that he can continue the form that he has shown in?
Definitely he will. Definitely in all the matches you can see, he has scored all matches and in all the matches.
So in bowling department, who is you think is going to be the trump card for India?
Shami. I think Shami. No, he's not playing today. I think.
All right. So let's ask a few more guys over here. India versus Sri Lanka. Can we beat them once again? It's a repeat of 2011 World Cup 50 overs match, a final of it.
Yes, we have to do. Yes, we'll do it. Surely it will come. This is a proud moment for us that we are going to achieve it again.
Right.
Okay. So the verdict from Delhi is loud and clear that it's going to be India, and it's going to be Virat Kohli again winning a match for Team India, and along with it also Yuvraj Singh and Dhoni will definitely play a crucial role from here.
Thanks a lot, Shimon, for getting us voices from Delhi. Everyone's very confident about an Indian victory, but there's bad news from Dhaka coming in, and rain gods have not been very kind on the fans today. Remember, India's semi-final was not interrupted by rain, but today, just before the final was supposed to start, rain has poured down in Dhaka, and situation is not looking very good right now. In Dhaka, we're hoping that the rain will subside very, very soon, and that the grounds could be cleared up quickly. The rain's picked up a little bit again, is what the latest update from Dhaka is after a brief lull. And during that lull, the super soppers had come out, but almost the entire ground is still under covers. So not very good news for the men that you can see on the screens. Dhoni and Malinga would not have hoped for a rain delay. Bad news coming in from Dhaka. Rain has stopped play. In fact, it didn't allow the play to start on time. We are expecting that the start will be delayed by quite a bit. There was heavy showers just before the teams were warming up, and now it seems that the rains have picked up yet again. Still some time to go, 45 minutes before the scheduled start of the match, but it seems play could be delayed because it is raining quite heavily in Dhaka, and the match start is more or less likely to be delayed by a little bit. All right, not very good news coming in from Dhaka. This is exactly what fans were hoping against. Boria Majumdar is with us from Kolkata. Boria, exactly what you and I were praying wouldn't happen in the final.
Absolutely. In fact, you said it. I was having a long conversation with people from Dhaka just about 2 minutes back, and they said the entire ground is under covers. So simple cricketing logic says it will be at least an hour and a half. So we are talking at least an hour's delay. Then who knows? Maybe another shower will mean further delays. This is extremely difficult for fans to digest. And all we don't want is a Duckworth-Lewis final. We don't want that. Maybe it gets washed out today, another final reserve day tomorrow. That's also okay. But we don't want a curtailed final where the rain gods will take the final call. That's the worst thing for both sides, India and Sri Lanka. Whichever team has to win, let there be a full game and the quality side wins.
Yes, Nikhil, India, Sri Lanka have already shared a Champions Trophy title. Remember, on both days, even on the reserve day, the match couldn't happen, and it's very bad news coming in on the final day.
Well, absolutely. You know, and with the kind of momentum that Team India had, I think this was a fantastic opportunity for us to go out there and win. But never, save on a negative note, Shivani. There's still time today. Don't forget, if it stops, I'm sure, with the Super Stoppers on, like you just said, maybe we might get a delayed
start. It's picked up a little bit again, which is what is the dangerous thing, Nikhil. And do you really anticipate the full match happening from now?
Well, it'll get a little difficult. I guess it's a little too early to go out there and predict whether we'll have a full game or not. And don't forget, if there's not a single delivery bowled today as well, we still have the reserve day for tomorrow. Hopefully, if it comes down to that, to going out there and playing the reserve day, we must see a 40-over final, 20 aside. I think that would be a befitting final for Sangakkara, Mahela Jayawardene, and of course for the Indian team as well, because we're in some fantastic form.
Yes, as per the forecast, rains were predicted, but only between 5 and 6, and that's exactly what has happened. So let's hope that they subside very quickly, and then the Super Stoppers can do their job, and at least the rest of the evening can be rain-free. That's what we are hoping here on Headlines today. All our reporters will stay with us, all our guests will stay with us. We're going to slip into a very short break, but listen in to what fans from Ranchi, the Captain Cool's hometown, had to say before this final.
आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय खेल दिवस है और टीम इंडिया एक बार फिर इतिहास दोहराने को तैयार है। हमारे साथ है रांची के कुछ क्रिकेटर जो धोनी के फैन भी हैं। जी, क्या नाम हुआ आपका? जी,
प्रशांत प्रभात।
प्रशांत, आपको क्या लगता है कि आज टीम इंडिया का जो चमत्कार है कैसा होगा?
बिल्कुल, लास्ट जो फर्स्ट टाइम हुआ था 2007 में, फिर से वापस वो दोहराई टीम इंडिया।
कोहली तो बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन टीम का जो कैप्टन होता है महेंद्र सिंह धोनी, उस पर काफ़ी दबाव रहेगा और उनके लिए चाहेगा कि प्रेशर में अपना हैंडल करें और टीम इंडिया को जिता के लाएं।
हमारे लिए प्लस पॉइंट ये है हमारी टीम के लिए कि हमेशा हम लोग फाइनल में अच्छा किए हैं श्रीलंका के खिलाफ। ये हम लोग के लिए बहुत अच्छा चीज़ है।
उनका टेम्परामेंट बताता है कि वो वर्ल्ड कप लेके आएंगे और हम लोगों के लिए 2 बार वर्ल्ड कप आएगा, ये एकदम पूरा विश्वास है। और वो हम लोगों के रांची से हैं इसलिए, और देश का भी नाम रोशन होगा और रांची का बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट हम लोगों का रोशन होना ही होना है। और बेस्ट ऑफ लक फाइनल के लिए।
Welcome back to Battleground T20. Let's take a look at few statistics that can actually tell us perhaps which side has an edge. Remember, this semi-final is being played in Mirpur, the venue that India has played at, so they already have that advantage. Let's take a look at the numbers, Nikhil, here of batting in the tournament, India versus Sri Lanka. Runs per over and runs per wicket that both India and Sri Lanka have conceded. Batting, in fact, so how much they've made. So they've made 7.7 per over batting. Sri Lanka have made 7.9, but they've made 38.8 runs India per wicket, and Sri Lanka have only made 24, despite the fact that they were playing at Chittagong, which was supposed to be a better batting surface. Let's also take a look at the bowling numbers for both these teams from the tournament. This is the runs conceded. So 6.8 and 6.7 for India and Sri Lanka respectively, runs per over. And again, but here again, as we were talking yesterday as well, India have conceded 18.7 runs per wicket, Sri Lanka only 15.1. Again, this is playing at Chittagong. So, do you think Sri Lankan bowling clearly has an advantage?
I think the spinners have done well, Shivani. Make no mistake about it, because playing at Chittagong, those numbers, of course, suggest that they bowled better. But also, really between the batting and the bowling, there's really not too much to differentiate between the two sides. That's why both the sides are in the final.
But at Mirpur, do you think Sri Lanka has an edge given their bowling attack?
Well, I guess maybe the conditions have changed now because we've got rain. The outfield's going to be wet. It'll be a little difficult for the spinners to come into play, because once that cricket ball gets to the outfield, it'll become like a bar of wet bar of soap. So it'll be hard to control. It'll all bog down to the batting statistics what we showed yesterday. And just to tell our viewers, our Indian batsmen have slight edge over in terms of batting, how they batted in these sort of conditions. Well, they know these conditions better.
Absolutely, Indian batsmen are definitely have the edge. Let's take a look at Mirpur's record in the tournament. Here clearly spin has dominated pace. 66 wickets by pacers, 76 by spinners at Mirpur. Let's move on and take the next template. Pace's average is 27.6, spin average is 23. So obviously we're expecting spinners to dominate this contest. But that's not just where the numbers end. Even in runs per over, spinners have an advantage, almost 2 runs extra, less conceded as far as paces are concerned. All of that could change today though, because the outfield is going to be wet. As Nikhil said, conditions have completely changed the dynamics now. And the best figures for pace at Mirpur have been 3 for 17, while for spinners has been 4 for 11. Remember, Rangna Herath took
5-wicket haul.
5 wicket for just 3 runs, but that was at Chittagong. So he could be quite dangerous here, Nikhil.
Well, without a doubt, if the ball's turning, Sri Lanka are going to be playing the 3 spinners. They've got some part-timers as well. They could cause some sort of trouble, but to some of these sides who don't play spin too well, don't forget, we're brought up on these sort of friendly conditions where you understand, you predict, you anticipate how much the ball's going to be turning once it leaves the bowler's hand. So in that regard as well, I don't see that big a problem, even if it starts turning. But like we just spoke about, the conditions have changed. With a little bit of rain, and I believe it's been raining for about half an hour, 45 minutes. So of course, the outfield's going to wet. If it doesn't start today, then the conditions once again would change tomorrow once we get to the reserve day.
Yes, let's hope that we don't get to the reserve day. Let's hope that we see some action today itself. A lot of build-up has happened before this finale, but it will be interesting to see just how curtailed, if at all, this match is going to be. Like we said and updated our viewers, it's raining still in Dhaka. So that means nothing has happened so far. The toss should have happened in a few minutes from now. It's not going to happen. And the match start is definitely going to be delayed by at least half an hour. That's our guess, perhaps more. We're going to slip into a very short break. Our experts will stay with us. We'll keep getting you all the updates from Dhaka as well. Stay tuned.
रोहित और अजिंक्य ने अच्छी शुरुआत करके दी थी। दोनों मुंबई के लिए अच्छी तरह से खेले रणजी में। दोनों इंडियन ऑयल के लिए भी अच्छी तरह से खेलते हैं, तो ट्यूनिंग दोनों की बहुत अच्छी है और भगवान करे कि आज के मैच में दोनों का बल्ला अच्छा चले और इंडिया जीते.
Well, I am very much concerned about the entire team and about the cup. That's important. Playing cricket at a very high spirit is also very important. I wish UV and all the players to go for it.
हमारे पूरे परिवार की तरफ से और जो जामनगर वासी जो है उन सब की तरफ से हम टीम इंडिया को बेस्ट ऑफ लक कहना चाहते हैं कि आप बहुत अच्छा खेले और T20 वर्ल्ड कप आप लेकर ही आए.
इंडिया की टीम इस समय मेरे तो 95% जीतने के चांस है और भुवनेश्वर का अपनी लाइफ का ये पहला वर्ल्ड कप है. दुआ कर रहे हैं कि पूरी टीम में बहुत अच्छा प्रदर्शन करे.
Yeah, it's an important game and I wish that he plays the same way as he played in the semi-finals and in the previous matches, and he should win the match for the country.